Okay, so that's some of your memories as a young child. So what are some things maybe from your teenage years, high school? Did you remember meeting Grandpa in high school, or?
Oh, I had a lot of friends. I remember in going to grade school, they always called me Smug because my name was Sparrow, and I had a friend named Diona Drake, so they called us Bug and Duck. And we had fun as kids. There was the whole neighborhood of us, and we would go at night round about after supper, about 6 o'clock until dark. We would all gather. I lived about a block from the school yard, and we'd go down there and play Run Sheepy Run and kick the can. And then when it started getting dark, everybody would come out and call their kids or whistle, and we knew it was time to go home. And in my teenage years, I went out to Weber High School, rode a bus out there. That's where I met Carl. I was in my junior year, and he was a senior, and we met in dancing class, and I always wanted to dance with his friend, but I always ended up with Carl, so that was a good thing, and we started dating then, and then he went in the service, and I still had a year of high school.
Mm-hmm. So when you, tell me about maybe getting engaged and being young newlyweds and having your first child and some of those things.
Getting engaged was something else. He proposed to me over the telephone, and his father had bought me a ring and asked if he should give me a kiss, and I said no. And it wasn't too romantic, not much to dream of. But anyway, he came home and we got married, and he went back in the service, and I stayed home for a couple of months until he called for me, and I got on a bus and went to San Bernardino, and he met me there, and we just, for a whole year, I just followed him around from place to place, coming home and going back. I went, I think, about 5 times that year from California home, and finally he ended up in Washington, and we bought a Model A Ford.
Model A. It was
And
a V8.
that's what we drove home, and he got discharged from the service. We came home, they built a restaurant. Carly, we were living up with his mother and dad, and she was born 2 years after we were married, and that's.
And did you work in the restaurant? Did you work in the restaurant the whole time?
Huh?
You worked in the restaurant for a long time after that?
Yeah, that was their profession, and that's what they did. And we had Diane up there then. We had Denise, and then we started building this home. And when Denise was a year old, we moved in here. And we've been here for 53 years.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, tell me about having your girls getting married and off having kids of their own and helping out with that.
Well, we had to make sure they married the right person. And Carly went up to Logan and met Richard in the closet. She was in there, and he went in to get a coat. She was shy in those days. He met her. It wasn't. He went home for the summer, and then he came back, and they were married in June of 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to Logan, and I remember then they had Wendy, and I can remember them. They lived in Nevada, and when they would bring her up, she would put her little handprint on the sliding door there, and I left those handprints on there for a long time. But that was the first grandchild.
Mm. And now you've got a lot of them.
Now we've got 17 grandchildren, 30 great-grandchildren, and if Corinne marries a Keebler twin, has a baby, that will make us a great-great-grandma. And I'll be happy with that. I love my family. They're all so precious. And they're all so special. Carl and I have really been blessed to have such a wonderful family. We feel the love that our girls have for us and their husbands, and the children are all so loving and kind to us. It has made life very, very enjoyable, and I am so grateful for all of them. And now I'm crying.
Well, we all love you. You know that. You're okay.
That's it.
Well, do you want to leave anybody with any last good advice that you could give any of us?
Keep their nose clean. No, just stay as beautiful and wholesome as they are now, and stay close to the Lord, and pray and ask His advice. I know my prayers have been answered many, many times. And I love my Father in heaven, and that's my advice, to stay close to the Lord, and He'll always help and guide all of them.
Well, that's good advice.
That's it.